There has been intense debate over the origins of crop circles. Where do they come from? Who is responsible? Do they contain a secret message? There are some who believe that they are the work of extraterrestrials, and there are some who maintain that the formations are a natural phenomenon. Whatever, no one can doubt their splendor or wonder at the intricate designs. Crop circles have captured the imagination of man as far back as records began. There have been many attempts to reproduce the geometrically complex designs without success. Remarkably, certain formations have appeared within one night. The short amount of time, the geometric complexity, and the methods of bending and weaving the corn stems are clearly beyond human capabilities. The designs themselves are not the whole story. Research has shown that biological changes take place in the corn at a cellular level, and speculation about the causes includes electromagnetic forces, microwave energy, and sound waves. These, together with the mysterious lights, eyewitness accounts, reports of malfunctioning electronic equipment, and positive health effects on people visiting circles, suggest that the phenomenon involves unexplained forces. These images are a testament to a phenomenon which is far beyond the understanding of man, a phenomenon which poses no threat but may hold the key to some of the greatest mysteries of the universe.
Well, I guess you don't need to know too much about myself. I am an electrical engineer by profession, senior officer in local government. I went into local government on the reorganisation of local government in Great Britain back in 1974, and grew through a number of posts, and fortunate to be experiencing promotions about every 6 months or so. My position looked pretty good. It was looking pretty rosy. And then I saw 5 circles in a field, and something threw a switch. From that time on, of course, I became more and more involved. I wasn't aware at the time that I walked into that field that I was to become, within hours, one of only 3 people in the world researching the phenomenon. I joined forces within days of that July day in 1983 with Dr. Terence Meadham, who was and still is the head of the Tornado and Storm Research Organisation in Great Britain, and Pat Delgado, who had just retired from his input into NASA tracking the Mariner project at the Woomera tracking ranges in Australia. Pat, who is a close friend and now co-author, is an electrical mechanical design engineer, really not so far away from my own profession. And so the 3 of us undertook a research project to try and discover how these patterns, which were then relatively simple, were appearing in this area, approximately 40 miles radius of Stonehenge in southern England. And that, of course, is where I lived at that time. The outcome of the provision of 3 reports from me, and this is early mid-80s, remember, was an announcement in the British government, House of Commons, that they accepted there was a real phenomenon. There's something the media haven't picked up on too. Reported in Hansard 5 times, and in recent weeks, other developments which we will talk about. The British government themselves saying there is a genuine phenomenon. There's a core phenomenon here. The explanation, though, that I have to be again totally upfront with, not acceptable to me, but I, of course, have to tell you that the British government's view is that the phenomenon is not a mystery at all. It's very unusual, but it isn't a mystery. These are being caused by a new kind of whirlwind, a new meteorological phenomenon, one popularly now referred to as a plasma vortex. This is a rotating field of electrified air, which during nighttime accounts for the golden balls of light people are seeing, the UFO. It accounts for that. It also is responsible for dropping into the field of cereal crop and causing a circle. Well, at a push, and I've spoken to most of the leading meteorologists, including, of course, Terence Meaden, who we were working with in Europe, and since Professor Snow and other people here, and they find it hard to imagine that that kind of phenomena could even cause a single crop circle because of the well-defined cut-off edges, the lack of damage, no evidence that that kind of plasma, ball lightning basically, could cause an effect of that kind. How about the sizes? Well, those that I doubt if you've seen, unless you're following the research itself, the smallest are these guys here, actually a little smaller, 12 inches to 18 inches we do have some. But they're this category of circle, which is not particularly exciting. It's not going to hit your national newspaper or even the books on the phenomena or the research because they're really not dramatic. But it's the same phenomena. There were hundreds of these appearing in the landscape when the matter was taken to the British government. These were appearing not only in the public areas, they were appearing in the military areas. They were appearing on Salisbury Plain, for anybody who's visited the area, which is an exclusion zone. You are not permitted to overfly it, let alone drive through it. It's surveyed from the air on satellites. It's a very secure area. This phenomena is appearing inside there. This circle here, of course, could be gained access for its construction by these tractor tire marks. And you're going to see a lot of these tractor tire marks. These do provide access points. Since 1980 in Europe, they have. The system of sowing the seed and then fertilizing, running down the same tractor tire mark throughout the growing period is what that's all about. They didn't use the system before 1980, and when the farmers discovered the circles before 80, they were saying, the media, the government can say what they like. There were no tracks in or out of the circles we found. Nobody had been there. When they walk away and we arrive on the scene, invariably there's one. And it's the track of the farmer that found it. These are oilseed rape plants, bent into position in a circle approximately 70 feet in diameter. And what you'd find, if you lifted those surface plants and had a look underneath, it's a whole different story. Those plants are lying along two overlaid sine waves, like this, out of phase, breaking away into the center. Remember, that's what's under each one of these, on the peak of a single sine wave, running underneath here. Peak, trough, etc. Highly complex. Not always are the plants spiral. Sometimes it's like a radial firework airburst, straight out from the center to the periphery. And what we are calling an S-type pattern, because of course they are laid along an S-type wave like this, with a tendency to reverse in the center and just on the periphery itself. This is a ripened plant like the thousands that are in those crop circles, and they're not knuckled. They're not bent. It's as if they're made supple throughout the construction phase, that period of construction, and then hardened up again. The oilseed rape plant, which is indeed a brittle plant, which is an example of here, very positively will not only knuckle, it will snap off. It will separate because it's brittle when you push it over beyond an